how often do you go back, if at all, and read that stuff? I mean, not stuff, but you know what I mean. Read what you wrote.
You know what? I read everything that I write at least 2 to 3 or 4, 2, 3, maybe 4 times. Um, I went back to read blogs I wrote like 5 years ago, and
Mhm.
I'm still amazed about how I wrote it or how I worded it. So I do go back to read the things that I
Yeah.
write just to kind of see the progression I made from that point to where I am now.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right.
Was your child young when he or she passed? Was it a
He.
he or she?
It was a
He
he.
Oh, okay.
he 23, shot and killed by a police officer.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
Wow.
it's almost like
Yeah.
a black mantra. Every time I look around, we losing black men to gun violence from the police officers, and not all of them are bad. It's just that some of them don't value our life like they should.
That's why
Yeah.
I'm so that's why I'm so adamant about that. About social injustice, domestic violence, um, human trafficking, and things of that nature. I'm so adamant about those subjects because those are things that directly affect us as a people.
Right.
One of the things we don't know, out of all three things, two of those things we don't talk about: domestic violence and human and sex trafficking. We don't talk
No.
about either one of those subjects.
No.
And it's happening every day.
And it's happening every
Yeah.
day and everywhere. And they are taking, they're not specific to just taking little girls. They're taking little boys too. They're taking
Yeah.
babies or trying to. And things
Yeah.
like that. So,
And I was just the funny thing you talking about the sex trafficking. I was just telling my son. I told him that your spirit is so important about your spirit. Your spirit is so important. It plays
Mhm.
a major part. I was telling him about when his sister was young and had just had her, and I remember going into the grocery store. I had just came out of the currency exchange, and I had her like on my arm, and some lady was in the parking lot, and after I got in the car, I realized that it was a truck at the end of the thing waiting with her for her. So I
Mhm.
was telling my son, I said, she walked up to me, and then I told her, I told her, I said, I'm covered by the blood of Jesus Christ with authority.
Mhm.
And when I said that, the lady stopped in her track. She looked at me and she said, you said the right thing. And next thing I know, she walked away. She walked away. It was so crazy. And I said, when I was telling my son was like, he said, for real, Mom? I said, for real. Because you know what I did? I called on God right then and there on the spot. And so when I called on him and I said it with authority, she walked away. But I seen her going towards this van. There's somebody in the van waiting. So I think what her goal was to do just that. She was
Take
Oh yeah.
that
planning on
baby.
taking my
Mhm.
baby.
And it was almost like, I wasn't there, but I just was kind of imagining that, Laura. It was almost like she didn't want to do it,
Right.
but she had been employed to do
Boy,
it.
to do it. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's how I feel. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
that
what I
happened.
believe too. I
That
believe that
is.
too. Yeah. And so what happens is we don't as people we don't look at that. They don't really people just think
Nope.
that, oh, you're just talking about it. It doesn't really happen because it hasn't happened to you, you
Happens a
know.
lot.
So because it hasn't happened to you, right on it's a different thing. People think differently. They like it's just I only seen it on TV. It doesn't really happen, but it does. It was some two young ladies from here in Chicago, the Bradley girls. Everybody probably know of them, but it was the Bradley girls. They were in the news, and people never said anything else about what happened to them young ladies. And we never
Mhm.
know what happened with them. They just forgot all about them. And it happens to our people all the time.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's just like you really in this day and time you have to watch your surroundings, even in the grocery store, because you could be walking around in the grocery store, especially if you got kids, And somebody could be literally following you. And if you ain't paying attention,
Yeah.
they waiting for you to take your eyes off your kids for 1 minute
Yeah.
so they can snatch them and run. And that's why you have to constantly be vigilant, paying attention to everything. Because I had a coworker of mine, her daughter was in college at the time. No, she was getting ready to go into college. And her daughter called her mom and she said, Mom, this man is following me. And she was in Walmart. She was following me. She said, she said, I believe this man is following me. She said, well, how do you know? She said, because it seems like almost every aisle I go into, he pop up in.
Yeah.
So she said, she told her, before you go out back to your car, she said, get a security or one of the employees to walk you to your car. And she said, okay. And she said, sure enough, when she was leaving out, that same person was coming out right behind her.
I'm gonna take one more question off of here because we're gonna have to cut it down. We're gonna have to wrap it up. Lisa asked, have you had or witnessed any examples of human trafficking, and what are your views on how to get up under it? Black folks need to stay away.
I haven't witnessed anything there.
She said,
I haven't witnessed anything.
Stay away from Walmart.
I haven't witnessed anything personally.
Okay.
But the one thing I can say, if you feel you're being followed, let someone know that you're being followed. Have someone escort you back to your car, back to your vehicle, or wherever you're going. The one thing I will advocate for women especially is taking self-defense classes, learning how to use a weapon, whether it's a knife, whether it's a baton, or whether it's a firearm,
or your keys,
or your keys. The one thing I'm dating someone right now, and I bought her a couple of knives to defend herself, and I said, be proficient with it, learn how to use it. It's for one thing the other thing is teaching situational awareness.
Right.
Be aware of your surroundings. Always look around, scan, look at what's going on. Take in your surroundings, see where you are. So, and if you are taken, kind of see where you are. Get your bearings about you. If you're able to, if it's possible to escape, then do that and go to the authorities. I can't stress situational awareness enough.
Right.
I can't stress self-defense enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually have necklaces now where if you feel like you're in one of those situations, you just press it and it'll share your location to the authorities, your parents, and
your watch does the same thing. If you have an iWatch, one of those Apple watches, it does the same thing. You can use that too as well. So Monique said to tell you, hey Nita Boo, you too cute. Auntie Monique loves you. But great conversation, guys, and we thank you, Frederick, for coming on to the show today.
I enjoyed it.
We would like to have you to come back and do a part 2 if you like. That would be good.
I will be honored.
Yeah. What y'all think, y'all?
I think so.
I think so because the subjects were great, and especially with what's going on in the world right now.
Right.
Yeah.
People need to be aware.
But just make people aware and spread that awareness.
Exactly. And if y'all don't mind, I would love to share a piece the next time I come on.
Okay. And would you share with people where they can find your books?
Absolutely. So I'll say all 5 of my books, Broken Chains, Road Less Traveled, Tapestry, The Interwoven Soul, Domestic Violence, Stories of Survivors, Love as a Battlefield, and Suicide, Road to Freedom. All those books are on Amazon. You can find those books on Amazon. The first 2 books that I've written.
You have your link to your
I can share that with you guys.
Okay.
So I was on Amazon earlier and I saw like I think all of your books.